can't make it.
Yep, I got it recording now. Thank you. Absolutely, Mary. I would have forgotten about that. So
No problem.
my iPad is telling me it's time for the meeting. It's like, okay, I am in the meeting. So
Hello, welcome.
welcome everybody. I'll do this a couple of times. I'll go ahead and put the link to the field school syllabus in the chat. And I know when new people come on, they'll need to I'll need to redo it because it doesn't appear unless you're here. So can everybody see that?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's the link to the field school syllabus. I've been dealing with like 5 different documents over the past half hour or so. If it's something about changes to the model of the main house, it's the wrong one. So
You're good. It's
all right, awesome.
syllabus. And we'll email it all to you guys again, because probably tomorrow or later this evening after we get off the call. So we've got some more people that are coming in. Excellent. Hannah, I'm glad Polly could join our call.
Yeah, he really likes sitting on my lap, so he'll definitely be making lots of appearances.
Oh my goodness, there he is.
Yeah, this is DJ Polly D.
So he goes by Polly, not DJ. Okay.
Yep, he goes by Polly.
But DJ's his occupation.
He's really talented.
All right. Well, Matt, do you want to go ahead and get started? And
yeah, why don't we? That would be great. Let me get to the field school syllabus here. I have way too many windows open. Here we go. So yeah, what we wanted to do today was to do a brief overview of the field school syllabus and then see if you all had any questions about the field school, and could be anything from grading to what to expect, what to bring, when to arrive. For just like a thumbnail sketch of the field school, we are going to do the first week of field school virtually, and we're setting up. Terry's setting up an online course for this that will allow you to really go through each day scheduled with readings and lectures. A lot of it will be asynchronous, meaning you could watch the lectures at any time, but then every day we're going to have like a scheduled time to get together and talk, and we'll go into the details on that in a second. And then after that first week, everybody will be arriving on Sunday night, and that Sunday is, drum roll as I get to the calendar here, the first week of the field school that is online is May 31st through June 4th, and then you all will arrive on June 6th to Arlington House. And then we'll get started and meet everybody in person on Monday, June 7th. And then starting that week of Monday, June 7th, we'll start the field school. And the first week is going to be at the site doing excavations, and then with everybody. And then that third, fourth, and fifth final week is going to be rotating between, you'll be divided into 3 teams, and you'll be rotating between excavation units, shovel test pits, and then also lab. And this is all detailed in the syllabus. But for the syllabus, again, I'll put this for those of you all that just joined. I don't know if anybody just joined. I just put it in the link again. And like Mary said, we'll send a copy of this video out along with a copy of the syllabus. For the syllabus, this is, we want you all to go through the syllabus before the first week. So to go through, and we've got a limited number of links. We haven't like front loaded you with all the readings before you even start the virtual part of the field school, because that'd be kind of cruel. We thought about it, but then we were like, no, that's why do the virtual first week. But we've got some, Mary's put in some links into this that provide some, pretty basic background on the site, on policies that we've got, and everything from backgrounds on staff and that sort of thing. When you go through it, you'll see it, but they're pretty short ones. You can, the great thing about a lot of these is you can go to the ones on the South Yard, like the digital doorway, and you could start exploring to your heart's content, because all these things are linked. The digital doorway is a website that Terry set up for all of Montpelier, and so it just has some deep dives on things. But
could you maybe introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, thank you, Mary. Yeah, we should do a round of
who are all these people?
Who are all these people? Yeah, why don't we'll do a round of introductions, and what we're going to do the first week, we will do that first day. We'll do some deep introductions, but for now, it's just state your name and what school you're at or where you're at right now in your life.
It's our first field school in a couple of years, so we're dusting off the cobwebs.
Yeah, so there's some cobwebs there. I'm Matt Reeves. I'm the director of archaeology at Montpelier. And we'll just go. I'll call out people as we go, just around my window. Mary, you're to the right of me.
All right. So I'm Mary Furlong-Minkoff. I'm the curator of archaeological collections. So all the lab components will be with me, and Matt, myself, and Terry, all your co-instructors for the duration of the program.
And I see Emily, you're to the right. I'm just going around the square here in no uncertain order.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm Emily. I'm from Ohio. I went to Mount Vernon Nazarene University, but I graduated in 2020. So I'm currently adulting right now.
Cool. And Nathan?
I'm Nathaniel. I just graduated from Appalachian State, and Zoom calls make me nervous, so forgive me.
And Carissa?
Hi, I'm Carissa Trotta. I'm living in Durham, North Carolina, graduated from grad school a long time ago back at the University of Maryland, but looking to pursue a second career. So happy to be here. Thank you.
Yay. And we all know Carissa well. She's come on many programs. Olivia.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm about to graduate from the University of Maryland.
Woohoo. Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer.
I'm Jennifer. I'm one of the archaeology field school assistants here.
Thanks, Jennifer. And Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah, and I'm the archaeology technician.
Thanks, Hannah. Hey, Rebecca, you're next.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm a PhD student at UC Santa Cruz.
Nice. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks.
Hey, Lizzie.
Hi, Lizzie. I graduated in 2019 from San Francisco State, and I've just been adulting in San Luis Obispo, California area. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lizzie. And Terry.
Hi, everyone. I'm Terry Brock. I'm the assistant director for archaeology, so I oversee all of the field excavations. I've been at Montpelier for 7 years, so I'm really looking forward to having another field school. So not here is Chris Pash, who's the crew chief. He helps me with all of the run the field site and manage all of that. So you'll be spending a lot of time with him and Hannah and Jennifer and Matt during the field school. So
we have another field school assistant as well, Kiana Wilkerson, who will be with us this summer. And her first week is like next week, starting back with us, but she's been an intern with us in the past, so.
And Mac, you're on my very left. You're the last one in the square.
Hi, I'm Mac. I'm the other field school assistant. I just graduated in December from Indiana University, and then I'll be going for my master's at University of Wyoming this fall.
We got most of that, Mac. Hopefully the breakup in your voice is not a precursor to the internet at Arlington, where you all are going to be. So it's
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So another person that isn't here is somebody you've been communicating with, Sarah Lee Hall. She just had her COVID, and she was COVID test, that is, or COVID shot, her final shot. And so she was not sure if she was going to make it tonight. And looks like she is resting. So wasn't sure when it was going to hit her, and it hit her. So yeah, no, we're going to get to know each other very well, in the month of June, and really looking forward to getting to know you all much better. Yeah, for the syllabus, just for the schedule here. Again, you can go through the syllabus and read a lot of this yourself. There's information on what the learning objectives are, and the field school is a very it's an applied field school for learning both artifacts and field techniques. And this year we're really fortunate that we're in the middle of a phase 2 set of excavations on the home farm, which is an agricultural complex dating to the early 19th century. And there's more on that in the syllabus. But we're going to be doing both shovel test pits and units. So we have a really good exposure to not only that, but also metal detector survey. But then, as you can see in the syllabus, you're going to be exposed to all kinds of things, everything from site interpretation, how we interpret the data, to public archaeology, interpreting the site to the public. And then we also do a lot of work as a team, of course, because that's what a field school is all about. And one thing we always want to do with a field school is really get folks to understand not only what teamwork is, but professionalism for your career and how to use your field school. And so we have a lot of time we spend in helping you know what the next steps of what you can do after the field school. And that includes careers in archaeology. For the assessment, and if anybody, Terry or Mary, at any point you want to jump in.
Yeah, I just kind of want to backtrack a little bit from some of the stuff that you skipped. So the first couple of pages where we have the policies, you'll see ones for SUNY Plattsburgh and JMU. Those only apply if you're taking, this for credit from one of those universities, which none of you are. But the policies that I really want to draw your attention to are the Montpelier policies. So those are our institutional policies, whether you take this for credit, for no credit, but work for us, come on any of our programs that we ask folks to follow and adhere to. And part of that is we have the fourth, under the housing policy is our values document, which is a document that's referenced throughout that really is, if you don't look at anything else, look at this before you come, because this really kind of sets up how we work together, how we're going to work together, how we're going to relate to each other. And it's an important thing that was created by our staff and former interns together and gets regularly updated by them. The next section I wanted to draw your attention to is the instructors. That's a list of all our names, but you also see the emails from Matt, Terry, and myself. So kind of from this point forward, if you have any questions about field school, email the three of us and copy all three of us on it because we co-teach this. It's really important that we're all copied on everything. So I know you guys have been emailing with Sarah Lee at the DIG email address, but really kind of from this meeting forward, if you have questions, send them our way. particularly if it's about the schedule, grading, all of that kind of stuff. That's really going to be what we handle. So we've included our emails there. And then Matt was getting into sort of the learning objectives, and then into the assessment, but I just wanted to backtrack over those couple things. And then I guess we can pick back up towards assessment. Yeah. But
and I think one other important thing to say about this syllabus is the class doesn't actually start for a couple more weeks. So there's, I literally like went in and just made a change. I changed it from 2019 to 2021. So so we're still, you know, there are tiny little things that we're still tinkering with. And as we're building out the website is a new thing for the online course piece. So as we're building that out, there may be some things in the syllabus that end up changing just because we're learning about this new tool as well. So anyway, just, you know, this should give you a real good overview and a good feeling for what field school is going to be like, but things may change. It'll be tiny stuff, but
I can't remember if the link for the online course is in there, Terry, but we should probably just take that out. So because if you went to that, it'd be a hot mess right now.
It is in there, but
take it with a big grain of salt. We're still working.
We will let you all know when that is ready for you to actually go in and do things too. Now is not that time. If you're really looking to get ahead, you won't.
And like Mary said, if you do have any questions, it is important to email all three of us, Terry, Mary, and myself, because you know, we're all working with the crew in different ways, and the three of us meet, you know, at least once a week, if not more. And it's just very helpful to all three of us get notified. We'll talk about this more once we start the field school, but once you're at the at site at Montpelier, the line of communication will be much more fluid through your unit and team supervisors, which are the, you know, everybody there, Hannah, Mac, Jennifer, Kiana, and then that group right there. And we'll explain everybody's roles when during that first day online. So for going back to the assessment part, for the assessment, a lot of what we're looking for in the grade is you know, it's, you know, dependent on the work that, you know, the assignments that you're doing, but a major part of the grade is how you all, you know, work as part of the team, and the role you all take, the active role you take in participating in part of the team. And, you know, if you're participating in the teamwork, you're going to do fine, because you're going to be understanding, keeping up with what's going on. You're going to be working as a team member and learning the excavation techniques and how we do the archaeology at Montpelier. And like we'll talk about when we get into it, you know, the archaeology, how we do it at Montpelier is how it's done, you know, in North America for historic sites and for prehistoric sites as well. So we don't have some bizarre system that you'll learn and then you'll not know how to apply anywhere else. So we're pretty intentional about that. Like even the software we use, we want to use software that you can apply it after the field school, and, you know, probably like 98% of the settings you'll be in.
One thing I'll add kind of along the teamwork vein is that part of that is a grade that you are going to grade each other on. And part of that is the experience in Arlington House, because it's a field school and because it's a shared space. We expect everybody, we actually budget in time to our schedule for you all to clean the house, take out the trash and do all that. And that's an opportunity where if there's someone, because this absolutely will not happen in your field school, there will be someone that doesn't do their dishes, but there is an opportunity if you have repeatedly asked that person and it still doesn't happen, where that can actually affect their grade. And because you all are not taking this, most of you are not taking this for credit, it's still really important to do all the assignments and put the work in, because many of you are put down that you want to be considered an intern candidate. And we only consider intern candidates that have gotten A's in field school. So if you think, oh, you know, I've graduated, I don't need this for a grade, I'm not going to do any of the readings or the work, and then they're just going to hire me, like, that's just not the case.
And
So
for those of y'all looking for work after, we always serve as people's references, and that would be considered the job reference as well. So it's like Mary said, y'all are here to be part of the team, but we do want to put this up front because it's a very important part of how we all work, and it's why we have, like Mary and Terry mentioned, that values document. It's a critical part of having us all understand, be all on the same page and work together.
and we don't assign
Yeah, a lot of that. I was just going to say that values document is really key, and a lot of how we evaluate your teamwork grade is through that, and a lot of how we evaluate when we go through selecting intern candidates, selecting interns out of the candidates, is based on your adherence to that values document, which really covers a whole lot of things. It is really the backbone of kind of how we operate and function as a department. So I will say also, just as far as the assessment stuff goes, this is probably an area where you might see some like if you're really into the numbers, some of these numbers are probably going to change because the field school looks very different this year than it has in the past for us. So we do try to do kind of a mid field school kind of sit down with you and your supervisor, just to kind of give you feedback halfway through so that you know what you are doing well, know what you need to work on, so on and so forth, and so that you kind of force a one-on-one conversation there about your performance. So just because that is also part of being a professional, right, is learning how to receive feedback and learning how to learn from it and implement it and improve on the places where where you've been provided that feedback. So that's an important part of this whole process too. Learning is in fact one of our values. So that process of receiving feedback and then using it is important.
and we weight the back half grades more than the front half.
Higher.
So if you took the feedback and showed vast improvement, that's actually going to make your grade better overall. I just think it's that's a big part of what we do. And I also just want to say, none of the assignments that we're going to do are busy work. They're all because we don't have time to grade busy work. I guess this is all things that are going to be helpful for you, for developing, for you to do better work, to do better archaeology, to help us, but also to help you in your careers. I think we should maybe go into the schedule a little bit because we mentioned before that the first week's going to be entirely online, and then the middle 2 through 5 are going to be in person. But there is a additional 6th week on the back end that is after you leave here. We assign everyone a kind of a project or a group project, and you have an extra week to turn that in after you leave here. You could turn it in on your last day here if you so chose, but we give that extra time for you all to kind of get your ducks in a row and not feel like, oh my gosh, I have to move out and turn this in, and I need to sleep, and I got to do laundry. So that sort of additional week off the back end is really just to give you that extra space to turn in your projects, which we'll of course talk about a little bit more, but I just wanted to kind of point that out to you all. So the first week, like Matt said, it's going to be entirely online. Your first official class day is Tuesday, the 1st of June, because the 31st is a holiday for us. And for many of you, it's Memorial Day. So it's really a 4-day week of assignments. And we'll have those daily check-ins, like Matt said. So at the end of the day, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon is when we'll all get together online and Zoom and kind of check in about the reading, see how you're doing, answer questions, share some more information with you all. The weeks in person at Montpelier, the sort of first thing to note is that arrival will be Sunday, June 6th. And we'd like everybody to arrive around 4 o'clock. We know with people's travel that can sort of vary depending, but we really want everybody to aim to be arriving at Montpelier at 4 o'clock. You'll be arriving to Arlington House. This is where you're going to be able to check in, get your room, get settled, those types of things. If you're not staying in Arlington House, you don't have to arrive at 4. You can arrive a little later, but we are going to have a dinner for everyone, whether they're staying in Arlington or not, at 5:45. And that dinner is going to be outside of Arlington House, so out on the lawn at Arlington House. So I know some folks aren't staying in Arlington, which is really exciting because it actually has allowed us to have a few more people join our field school than we originally thought we were going to have. So that's pretty exciting. And then
if you're gonna arrive, because whatever your travel is such that you're gonna arrive earlier on Sunday, let us know so that we can either accommodate and let you know when someone will be at the house to let you in, or you know, or whatever. Just open communication, another one of our values. So just let us know what you know, when you're going to be getting in. But Sunday is the day, and not Saturday. So
we have sort of a typical schedule set up for you, the daily schedule, week 2 through 5. And this basically shows you're going to be working from about 7:30 to 3 or 4 o'clock every day, depending on if we have an extra tour at the end of the day. So you're going to help with cleanup and setup and working with the crew. So it's a long day. It can be a hot day in June. So bringing lots of water. We'll get into this some more on what to bring. That's later down. But you know, being prepared for a full work day, 5 days a week. We aren't going to have you guys work on weekends in the field. There is one weekend that we are asking for your help with a program that I am coordinating here with our annual Juneteenth celebration. We need a little help with that, and I have lovingly volunteered you guys to help with some of the work for that. But that's just one weekend. The rest of the time is yours. If you go down to week 1, again, that's your virtual week. Like Terry said, a lot of this can sort of shift, but that gives you a general idea of the topics we're going to go over and how they're going to come up. So they may shift a little. Some of day 4 might go into day 3 or vice versa. But one thing I do want to, sorry, that's my husband. One of the areas I do want to draw your attention to is that we have a colleague of ours who is an archaeologist and a trained trainer in anti-racism training. Mia Carey is going to lead some anti-racism workshops for us that first week as part of our online experience. And she is awesome, and I'm really excited to have her as part of that. So she's not a Montpelier employee, but she is a Montpelier friend and knows our site, our projects, our staff really well, and knows archaeology really well. So that's going to be something special just for our field school students and staff to go through. And then again, the next couple of weeks, we really are going to kind of focus in our tours and our kind of supportive stuff with the excavations, with the survey, with the lab work. And you can see sort of those themes popping up on the weeks 2 through 5. And then, like I said, week 6, finishing your project at home. One of the components of your grade is that we have everyone in groups create a public archaeology product about their experience, and we'll give you full parameters of what that has to entail. We've had everything from podcasts created to music videos to stratigraphy models. So there's a really lovely range of things to be creative. And those products we still use on a regular basis. So like I said, we don't assign busy work. These are things that we use really as part of our interpretation. But that final project is due the Friday after you leave here at 11:59. So you have that extra time to work on it. Terry, Matt, is there anything with the schedule else before we?
Yeah, so a couple things. Thanks, Mary. A good way to kind of think about this, the way this course is organized, is that first week is us kind of onboarding all of the background information, right? Whether that's how archaeology works, what the terminology is, what are artifacts, what are features, how does paperwork work, what is stratigraphy. This is stuff that we typically have spread out throughout the whole course, and this time we're just front loading all of it. So hopefully it won't feel like a whole bunch of busy work. There may be some stuff that's a little complicated that you might not understand, that probably you would learn better if you were in the field actually doing it. So if some of this stuff doesn't immediately click for you during that week, don't worry about it, because you're going to go spend the rest of the month doing and putting all of those things into play, in the field, in the lab, talking with visitors, doing your assignments. You're going to be kind of doing these things in real life through hands-on experience. So there's going to be a lot of different ways to learn all of these different concepts. But week one is really about concepts and background. And then the rest of the field school is about applying all of those concepts, putting them into context, and really using them and doing them. So again, it's a new way for us to do it. I'm excited about the idea and the possibilities for it. And I think it's going to give you a real full back end of the field school. I think it's going to be really, you're going to start seeing a lot of those ideas fall into place as you're moving along. There's another assignment that is in here. There's a couple other assignments that are in here. There's a careers assignment that we do. Again, you know, we really want, and I think have been pretty successful with having field school students go on to being professionals in the field, whether that's through our internship program or beyond. All of the people who, Hannah, Mac, Jennifer, all took this field school, and all are professional archaeologists because they're doing it right now. So we do run a careers workshop where we have panels with other archaeologists, our colleagues, who come and talk about their experiences, careers in cultural resource management, in public archaeology, in national parks, a lot of different experiences, working at museums, all of the archaeology jobs that are not being a professor, because there's a lot of those jobs, and we want you all to get exposed to a lot of those things and actually meet and hear from people who are doing the work out there. So there will be an assignment for you all to complete during that week that will be building your LinkedIn profile, working on your resume, building an online portfolio, writing a cover letter if you're applying for the internship, right? There's a number, applying for another job and working on a cover letter. So we'll go through and work on all of those skills and things like that. Matt, Mary, and I hire a lot of people. So we have a lot of feelings and tips and tricks about how to kind of navigate the professional job hunt in the discipline. So we really want to make sure that that you all leave this field school prepared, not just having thought about it, but with at least one piece, one material item that you're going to be able to show a future employer that's going to speak about your qualifications. And then there's another assignment that is going to be, it is typically been what's called a site stratigraphy analysis. Usually we group you where you have kind of your group is working on a section of the site. And so you work on doing some actual analysis and pulling together what it is you found and writing a sort of little mini report. Again, this field school is a little bit different. So we may change a little bit about how that works, but there is going to be some assignment that's going to be you all synthesizing either the section that you worked on or the units that you worked on, or maybe some of the shovel test bit survey that you did, synthesizing that, looking at the data, and pulling it together. It's actually going to, I think, go really even smoother than it usually does, because all of our paperwork is going to be digital this time. So the data is actually going to be like there for you to look at. So those are just some additional pieces of assessment that are going to be scattered throughout the and events that are going to be scattered throughout the field school. It is a full schedule. The other thing are the tours that we're going to be doing. You're going to see like every inch of this 2,700 acre property while you're here. There's been a lot of archaeology done here. Matt is going to tromp you through the woods and take you to places that no one ever gets to see. You're going to visit the Gilmore cabin. You're going to visit the train station, the segregated train station, the Civil War encampments. We're going to talk all about the home farm and the main house and the cellars and the south yard. So there's just been this whole place has been informed by archaeological research. And we really want you all to see how the whole process works, how we go from looking for sites and identifying them all the way through to interpreting them and talking about them to the public, working with the descendant community, all of those different things. You're going to get all of that throughout this week. So again, front loaded with all the sort of background information, and then you're going to see how and do all of it during the actual field school while you're here. So anyway, let's see. But yeah, it's a busy month and it's a lot of fun. If you like archaeology, it's a lot of fun. So I'm done now.
All right. So the the next section that really comes up in the syllabus is our COVID policy. And I know some of you, if you were in sort of the pre-field school application meeting, we talked a little bit about this. This is the policy that we've created for our department and to run our programs. And really, we are erring on the side of extreme caution to keep people really as safe as possible. But one of the things that we are realizing is that this disease is rapidly changing and our sort of reaction to it is changing. We are, the CDC makes the rules, then the state of Virginia changes their rules to follow the CDC, and then our institution changes their rules to follow the state of Virginia, and then we can change our rules to, you see how this goes. But one thing we wanted to really sort of emphasize is we want to start kind of with our base being as conservative, I guess, in as possible, and then we can relax if things are looking up. And part of that is vaccinations. When we first made this policy, vaccinations weren't a thing that were even available. And now that is something that many of us have had. So one of the things that would really allow us to sort of relax the rules is if everyone is vaccinated. Not if most people are vaccinated, but if everyone is vaccinated. So I don't know how many of you have been able to get partially or fully vaccinated, but that is definitely something that is important for us to know, in that it can affect everything from our excavation strategy of can we put more than one person in a unit together to, sort of the rules in the house and all of those kinds of things. So if you haven't been vaccinated at this point, we strongly encourage you to go get vaccinated, like right now. Hang up the phone, go get it, because that will give you enough time. You get your first, if it's a 2-shot one, you can get your first shot. You can always get your second shot once you're here in town. That you don't have to do it in the same place. There are places available in this area where you could get your second shot if you have at least gotten your first shot. So we just really want to encourage you all to do that, because it will make everything more fun, and it will also take a big weight off of us, because like we said previously, if one person gets COVID, the whole field school shuts down for everyone. And so it's really important to keep yourself safe and to keep your classmates safe, your coworkers safe. And Matt, is there something do you want to add anything to this? Because you're the boss.
Yeah, exactly what you said, Mary. I think the most important thing that you can do right now is to get vaccinated and start the vaccination process. We, if everybody could, let us know what your status will be by the field school. It's not meant to be punitive, because vaccinations aren't available for everybody at this time, but it would help us be able to plan. So if you could just drop us a note and let us know what your vaccination status is, that would be a huge help. And we also recognize that this is private, and we're gonna have our metric be protecting those that are most vulnerable, and always respect that. So this isn't a question like, if you don't get vaccinated, you don't get to be in the field school. It is just helping us understand where we're at. And also, this is part of the values document of family, is that we want to understand what your all's comfort level in a lot of these areas are as well. And so we'll have a chance to talk about this. But like Mary said, these rules right now, we're starting with the most stringent rules of social distancing, of masking. And then if there's an opportunity to relax that because of changing conditions at the state, CDC, or Montpelier level, or within the field school, then we'll do that. But we're starting with these rigorous standards, and we're going to keep with these until we know we can do something different. And we've planned all the schedule for this. I mean, this is the whole point of why the field school is front loaded, is because we don't want to do any in-person, in-class lectures. And also by doing having the field school delayed a week, it just allows people distance from the semester or other situations you've been in. So it just equal caution.
And I think it's also important to note that the COVID-19 policies are safety protocols, and part of doing archaeology is keeping yourself safe and following. Mm-hmm. We're going to have all kinds of safety rules about the kind of footwear you can use, right? About wearing sunscreen, about wheelbarrows, all kinds of things that are designed to keep archaeologists from getting hurt. We have a no hero policy, which means don't be a hero. Don't try and do some sort of physical activity that great feats of strength or whatever, ask for help. This fits right in with that. Any CRM firm you work for, you're going to have to take OSHA standards and learn all about all the different rules and safety protocols that you're going to have to follow. And this is no different. So this is just part of being an archaeologist, is following the safety rules and guidelines. So it's a learning opportunity also. So for Arlington House, since most of y'all are going to be in Arlington House, we've got some descriptions of the accommodations at Arlington House. We've got bed sheets and clothes and pillows for you all. If you do have a favorite pillow, or you've got sheets that are particular that you need for sleeping, go ahead and bring those. There is a washer and a dryer in Arlington that you'll have full use and access to. We don't have a laundry service, so you'll all be responsible for washing your own linens and towels and that sort of thing at Arlington. We've got for policies for staying in Arlington, read through these and be aware of them. They're designed to allow Arlington to be a comfortable space where everybody, everyone's needs are met and no one's infringing on anybody else's space, in terms of dirty dishes and having messes in the house. We are going to have like Mary said, we'll have a time at the end of the week for a weekly clean. That doesn't mean that's the time to do the dishes. This is like an overall clean, for the week. And Sarah Lee will be heading that up with you all. We will provide all the cleaning supplies you need for Arlington. Just so you're aware, just looking through these things for things you'd need to think about for what to bring. Having clean
down to the what to bring list.
Yeah, I just wanted to look through this real quick. I know just to make sure nothing was left out, the having some clean slippers is good to have in our Arlington House, things that would be just kind of like house shoes. If you're a smoker, be prepared to smoke outside. I don't know if anyone is a smoker. If you start smoking before you come to the field school, be prepared, don't do it. But you'll need to have it, although your accoutrement, you need to smoke outside. And I'm looking through here for anything that would be.
So I would say the biggest ones are kind of the most recent changes are sort of the COVID related changes. There is a dining room area in Arlington House, but we're really encouraging you all to eat not sitting around the dining room table super close together, but to take your meals outside. There's a really great screened in porch and a really nice like kind of fire pit area. I think Hannah lived most of her life on that screened porch. So to really kind of take your meals there. That also means that we don't want you to have guests in Arlington House, because if we do get it as this nice kind of safe space where no one's bringing we don't want anyone to bring the COVID into our kind of safety bubble. So those are two things. And right now we're asking you to, in the common areas of the house, to also wear masks. So if you're in the living room, if you're in the dining room, to wear masks. Again, these rules could be relaxed, but right now those are ones that we are using. And that's why each of you will have your own bedroom. So you can be in your bedroom, you can close yourself off, you can have your own space. You don't have to sleep with a mask on or anything like that. But those are some of the kind of ones that are a little different than how we've done things in the past.
Bathrooms you're going to have to share. That is a thing that's going to be shared. So
yeah, the other one is alcohol. So we have a no alcohol rule for our field school, usually because we have a mix of underage and overage people. And particularly with COVID, alcohol makes you forget to social distance. So we really want to keep Arlington an alcohol-free zone in order to protect yourselves. I think everyone's of age on this field school though, so that's a little bit of a relief.
Right now there'll be no underage drinking because there's no one underage. But yeah, with alcohol consumption, we've just found the problems we've had in the field school in the past, very distant past. This is like 10, 15 years ago, came from drinking, and we want to just avoid that. It's and it's pretty. You all are here to learn. That's the important thing.
I think the important thing to remember about Arlington House is that this is a house that is part of the Montpelier Foundation. It's part of our property, and it is the only reason we get to do our public archaeology programs, is because we have this house. It is where people who come on our week-long programs, it's where they stay when they come on our programs. It's the only reason we're able to have a field school, because we're able to provide you all with housing. And if something happens, if something goes wrong, if something breaks that's really serious, if someone gets hurt because of poor choices, we may lose access to this house, right? The Montpelier Foundation may decide that we don't get access to this space anymore, and that would be devastating to our department. So it's really important.
By that is not a toilet breaking. There will be things in the house that break, that are maintenance. Don't worry about that.
Yes, I mean like it burning down. Right.
Burning down. That would be
right. And this is, I'm not trying to
falling
be
off the roof because of silly things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm only saying that just because it's just important to know how important this building is to the success of our department, and has been really, really important to the success of our department. It's a really special place. Every field school student, every intern, every expeditioner has a really special connection to Arlington House, and you all will build that same strange, weird fondness for Arlington House that so many people have before you, so it's a really neat building that you will, like I said, you'll grow to appreciate and really love, and it's where you're going to build a whole lot of special memories. But it's a really important building to us and to our department, so it's a really important thing to keep in mind. That's why we have all these rules about it.
And if you're really into Max and Jennifer's backgrounds, they are currently in Arlington House. So if you're like, wow, look at that beautiful framed picture. I think that kind of transitions us really nicely into the kind of equipment, what to bring and what you will be provided. We're going to give you a t-shirt. We're going to give you a mask. You don't have to wear that t-shirt every day. There may be some days that we ask that you do wear that shirt specifically. We're going to give, you know, like I said, we'll give you one mask. You need to bring lots of them yourself because
Sorry, Mary, just removing that.
I see. They'll get dirty and they'll get sweaty. And so it's good to have backups, you know, to last you through the whole week, maybe even to change periodically if you're a big sweater. Other things are things that you need to bring are for the field and for the lab as well. What you wear in the field is what you have to wear in the lab, whether we're doing field lab or if you're going over to the physical lab, because you will get just as dirty, if not dirtier, doing the kind of lab work that you're going to do as you will in the field. Water screening is not a clean activity. So you need hats with wide brims, you need sunscreen, you need comfortable clothing that is durable. We ask that everyone's shirts are crew neck, so like t-shirt style, because you're going to be bending over a lot. Personally, I encourage long pants over shorts. It is really rough on the knees to wear shorts. I find long pants to be way more comfortable in the field. Hannah.
There are ticks where we're doing STP, so you're going to want long pants just for your safety.
Yeah. Good point. And long pants, tall socks, good sturdy shoes. So work boots or hiking boots, something like that are kind of be your best option. No flip-flops on site.
Your toes need to be covered. Your toes must be covered. And preferably with something better than like little canvas shoes or something like that. Work boots would be preferable. And we are going to be doing shovel test pits, which means it's going to be out in the sun. There's not going to be shade. You're going to have to kick a shovel a lot with your feet. So, you know, if even tennis shoes may be uncomfortable on the heels of your, on the bottoms of your feet. So I would recommend work boots.
Yeah,
personally.
I'm going to say work boots are absolutely required because you're just going to want them for what you're doing. And also we'll be going for hikes. The other nice thing about work boots is with longer socks, you can tuck your long pants into them, and that makes the ticks go even higher, which is even better. So
Walmart also sells them for super cheap, so you don't have to go and buy the super expensive ones.
Texas Steer brand, they're good. So
yep. I own some. They're in my closet. Water bottles. Water is going to be really essential for keeping yourself hydrated. And you are not a hero if you don't drink water. You are in fact putting yourself and other people in danger. So drinking water, not soda, not other things that are water adjacent. Water is really going to be helpful. And having large enough bottles to hold large quantities of it is going to be really helpful. A couple other things, sunscreen, of course, you're probably going to want to bring some DEET, some off for the ticks. And a small pocket knife is super helpful. A folding or like a camp chair, that's great to have at Arlington House, particularly because I think you're going to want to be doing a lot of your socializing out on around the fire pit or the grill kind of area. Gloves, knee pads, some other kind of things is bring some hand sanitizer with you. We are out on the field. Our facility that is nearest to us is a porta potty. So hand sanitizer, COVID or not, is a good thing to have for after you go to the porta potty. So I highly recommend that you bring some of that with you as well. We have some at site, but we get whatever they issue to us. So sometimes it smells like a distillery. Sometimes it has the texture of aloe, which makes a really gross paste with the dirt on your hands. So getting one that you like can really be helpful.
I'd also like to double down on gloves. The sites that we've been working on lately have a lot of quartz that is broken and chipped. Lots of, we're working on a blacksmith shop, so there's lots of rusty nails and clipped iron and stuff like that. And there's always glass. So having a nice, or it doesn't even have to be a nice pair, but a pair of gloves so that we can push, and we work with clay. So we got to push it through the screen. It's not sand. It doesn't just magically fall through the screen. So that would be really, that's really important. And Mary Kurt sort of mentioned this with water bottles, but I would also just, this is the equipment section, but I think it kind of emphasizes this. Archaeology is a physical sport. So this, like, now is the time to start and getting ready for a month of hard physical labor. You're going to be carrying heavy buckets, you're going to be walking a lot, you're going to be digging, you're going to be moving your body a lot. So yeah, I would strongly encourage you to start getting your body ready for that kind of physical labor, whether that's just stretching every day, starting to take a jog, or like whatever you need to do to start getting your body ready for a month of hard physical labor. This is a good time to start thinking about that, because it's a lot of work. It's a physical sport. So I just encourage you to, you're going to be bending your body in all kinds of strange ways to get cleaning passes done. So you just, you never quite know what you're going to have to ask your body to do on a shovel test fit survey. So I just encourage you to think about that and take that into consideration as you're getting ready for this over the next month. I guess.
The other thing is, the last kind of under things to bring is food. Bring food. There is a grocery store just a few miles away in the town of Orange, and then there are that's a Food Lion, and then there are bigger, more options grocery stores, kind of 30 minutes in any direction. But show up with stuff for breakfast, show up with things. You're going to need to bring packed lunches while you're there. Normally, we are sleeping 15 people in this house, so there's less room for food in the refrigerators and the cubby spaces, but because there's only going to be 8 of you in the house, it's really like a whole lot more space. And there are 2 kitchens in Arlington, so you really have space to spread out, bring your food, store it up, cook delicious things, or buy lots of protein bars, whatever floats your boat. But that is definitely something that you need to think about bringing in kind of as part of your plan. That kind of leads us right into Montpelier and the area. So we talked about this a lot in the kind of pre-finding out that you got in meeting, but the nearest town is Orange. It's the largest town in the county. It has less than 5,000 residents, so it's a pretty small place, but it does have a grocery store, it does have a CVS, it does have banks and all kind of the basic things you need. It even has a couple of really good places to get carry out from, and it has every kind of fast food you can imagine. So when you're on the property, just be mindful that everybody knows who you are. So follow the speed limits, stop at stop signs, don't run over squirrels. Like this is, people are paying attention. Even if you don't know who everybody is who works here, they all know that you're field school students. So that's an important thing. And with that, we're gonna give you name tags, and we're gonna ask that you wear them every day, so people can identify you, whether they're visitors or staff. If you want your parents or your friends or loved ones to mail you something, there's of course the address, and there is a landline at Arlington House, but you can't call out long distance unless you have a phone card. But there is a landline there for safety purposes and in case we need to get a hold of you. Every once in a while, you'll hear the phone ringing, and it's probably Matt calling to tell the house something. And this sort of goes down into Orange and kind of the nearby areas. This is kind of a quick summary of what's in Orange, which is the closest, and a property map. But we're about 45-ish minutes from Charlottesville. about the same from Culpeper, and really anything in the world that you could want to get. I mean, there's a Wegmans in Charlottesville, so you can satisfy all your food needs there if the Food Lion doesn't have it. So
One thing with the phone, the cell service at Arlington is nearly non-existent. It was so frustrating. It was frustrating. We got a cell tower about 8 years ago, and I was all excited that we'd have finally connectivity at Arlington. And I drove to Arlington, and the bars went from 3 to 2 to 1 to none. And so there's other places on the property that aren't that far that you can get cell service, but just be aware of that. And that's why we still have the landline at Arlington for emergencies. But if you're and for people to be able to call in, but just be prepared for that and be aware of that.
Particularly if you have AT&T or Verizon, you have a better chance of getting service in like funny spots right outside of Arlington or on the property. But if you have T-Mobile or something else, you're not gonna have a lot of luck. That's a great question. So given that, I don't know if you guys see the chat, but with Rebecca, a question. So worried about traveling around in the area. Now I have to say, I don't have personal experience with this, but I would say that I have not had, I'm gonna kill my dog. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna kill him. He just won't stop whining. I think that most of the people that we have had come, interns, staff members who are people of color, have had pretty comfortable, safe experiences, both in Orange and in Charlottesville. But probably one of the best people to really answer that question is going to be Kiana, who is one of our past interns and is African-American and has lived in Arlington House, has lived in Orange, and has been in this area. I think maybe I will kind of reach out and touch base with her. Also, Mia, who is doing our anti-racism training, is from Gordonsville. Her family lives in Gordonsville, which is about 10 minutes from Montpelier. So she will be another person. She's also African-American that can really speak to sort of the area, I think, better than certainly I can. Matt's also lived here for over 20 years, so he has a good perspective.
Yeah, there are the biggest thing that where we've had where people of color have had the most challenging encounters have been just being at Montpelier, being at Plantation, and then also visitors. And this is something we are gonna talk about. But in Orange, there's it's a typical rural Virginia town, and I think there's about 15 to 20% Black Orangenians, Orangites, whatever we call ourselves here in Orange. So, but yeah, it's but there's definitely, talking with Kiana, and this is something to be aware of. And thanks for asking that.
And I would just say, certainly if you're ever on property and somebody makes you feel unsafe or uncomfortable, let us know. And you by no means have to educate anyone. If you choose not to, you by no means have to deal with anyone who, and this is in any way, if they're treating you disrespectfully about race, about gender, about anything, none of you have to deal with that. That's not your job. You're here to learn. You're not here to take abuse or insults from anyone. So let me know, let Terry know, let Matt know, let Chris, let Hannah know, find any one of us, and we're happy to be the ones to step in and deal with it. And the same goes, if you ever have an incident in town, let me know, let Matt know. We both live in Orange, so we're right here, and are happy to help and be sort of a support system as much as we can be for you all. Terry would too, but he lives in Richmond, which is like an hour away. So,
and if anybody wants to meet the members of the Black community, we do have a strong relationship with the Orange County African American Historical Society. And if anybody wants to, go to some of the Sunday services in the area, we've got connections with just about every, Black church in the area and other churches as well. So we can set you up with that.
And one thing I did want to mention was, I mentioned before was Juneteenth. Juneteenth, the Orange County African American Historical Society has been celebrating Juneteenth since 2006. And they've been doing it at Montpelier since 2016. Last year, we moved the celebration virtual because of COVID. This year, it is going to be virtual as well, primarily, and I will send you guys all the website that I've made. And there's going to be a bunch of virtual events, but on the actual June 19th day, we have a lot of spaces, particularly spaces that tell the African American history of Montpelier that have been closed because of COVID, because we haven't had the staffing really to sanitize and monitor them. But we are going to open them for Juneteenth and make them available for visitors to the property, free to members of the descendant community, of course. Local residents can all come onto the property for free and go to some of these spaces. So what I am recruiting you all to help me with is actually staff those spaces. So it's being people that are there to make them COVID safe so we can open them, which we haven't been able to do for over a year. So this is really exciting. And this also speaks to kind of this teamwork extends beyond archaeology into supporting our interpretive staff, supporting our curatorial staff, really kind of working as a team. So if anyone has an interest in a career in museums, this is going to be a really good opportunity to kind of see that outside of archaeology. So thank you in advance for helping with this.
Every field school we've done has helped somehow with Juneteenth for the last 5 years. So it's just helping in a little bit different way this time. Usually it's setting up folding chairs and all kinds of stuff, but it's a really special day at Montpelier and a great example of the public engagement work that we do as an organization with OCHS. So. That looks like the end of the syllabus. There's nothing. Yeah. It's only 19 pages.
Does anybody
cut this down from 27, y'all? So this is a pretty
been cut down.
This meeting could have gone so much longer.
Are there any questions or things that we missed that anyone has, kind of questions that you're curious about?
I was wondering, what's the pet policy? Nope.
The pet policy is that we don't allow pets in the houses. If you're living off the property, of course, you're free to bring your pet, but Arlington, there's no pets allowed.
All right.
Of any sorts, like rats or cats or dogs or snakes. So sorry. It just, we have to, like Terry said, Arlington is a space that we use for our expedition members and later for interns. And it's that's a problem with both maintaining the house and also allergies.
I was wondering about tattoos and covering them.
That you
yeah, as you can see, Max.
Yeah, we've had many people with tattoos on the field school. That's not a problem.
Okay, cool.
And if it is a problem, it's all of our problem that we'll help you with. So.
That is the assumption that it's also not something totally obscene, like written across your forehead, because it doesn't look like that right now. It doesn't look like the F word is just going right across your face. I think that might be a problem, but yeah, arms, legs, your neck, whatever, you're good. Any other questions or? Well, I would say if you think of something later, please email us. And the chances are that if you have the question, somebody else might have it too. So we'll be sure to kind of, address it, not only email you back, but, let other people know as well. Like Matt said, we'll send you all you have the link to the syllabus in the chat, but we'll send you an email with the link to that and the recording of this. So even the folks that can join tonight can also see all of this kind of stuff. And like Matt said, we're really interested in sort of hearing from you all about your vaccination status, so we can plan everything from number of units to kind of other sort of policies. So please let us know that as well, so we can plan accordingly. And like Matt said before, he said it really eloquently. It's not punitive, it's just planning.
And I'd also suggest, as we're getting closer and closer to the date, keep your eye on your email, and if we ask you to get back to us on something, the sooner the better, because we are, this date is fast approaching. You will all be here before you know it. But also, we're doing lunch and learns. We do a Facebook and an Instagram live every Friday. This is a really good way for you all to start kind of seeing what we're doing at the site, getting a sort of a handle for a lot of these things by following us on Instagram and Facebook and all of those things, just to start getting a feel for what we're doing out there, so it isn't completely foreign to you. When you just get out there and you're like, what, blacksmith shop, what are you like, you'll have a feeling, you'll have an idea, you'll be able to see the space, and it'll just help you get that much better adjusted and ready to hit the ground rolling as we get closer to it, because you'll literally know exactly what we just found.
I'll send this later tonight, because it'll take a while for this to load up to Zoom, to YouTube, but I'll put the link to our lunch and learn that we're doing tomorrow at noon for you all to log into. And if you can't make it, we always record it, and it goes on the lunch and learn page, and I'll put the link in there. But I'll have Sarah Lee add all of you all to the archaeology mailing list, and we're going to be doing a June newsletter over within the next 2 weeks before the field school. That is a good point.
Okay.
Cool.
Any more questions? Going once, going twice.
Well, thanks everybody. Looking forward to seeing you all first in Zoom land when we do the first week. And like Terry said, look out for any emails, and we'll be in touch. So thanks everybody.
Bye everyone.
Good night. Bye.